Some people might think that all the prophets and messengers were sent to the Middle East, to Egypt, to Palestine, to Arabia and Babylon. That's because we rarely hear anything about prophets from other places in the world. So, we mentioned in the previous episodes that Allah sent 124,000 messengers to guide humanity to the right path, and that each of these prophets and messengers were sent for a specific time and location, and that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the seal of the prophets, sent for all of humanity. Now, were there peoples of the past who did not have a messenger sent to them? Well, the Holy Quran states, and we certainly sent into every nation a messenger, saying, worship Allah and reject Taghut. And as you might have guessed, Taghut means evil powers. You see, Allah sent a very basic guidance to every nation. Every people were warned to worship Allah and to reject the tyrannical powers. And there certainly existed messengers throughout the planet. But now, someone might ask the question, does that mean that there were Aboriginal prophets sent to Australia? Were there Chinese prophets too? Were there Indian prophets? Norwegian prophets? Well, the Holy Quran states, and we have already sent messengers before you. Among them are those, whose stories, we have related to you, and among them are those, whose stories, we have not related to you. There are many prophets and messengers that we don't even know about. Allah has not mentioned their stories to us, and there's certainly a wisdom behind that. How many prophets' names do we really know? 20? 25? 30? 100? Well, that's not even close to the 124,000 prophets that Allah has sent throughout history. There must have been so many prophets sent to the furthest reaches of the planet, each one of them divinely inspired and guiding his people to the right path. Of course, throughout time, the messages of those prophets must have been misinterpreted and corrupted to such an extent that they became polytheistic religions, the signs of which we see today in museums and archaeological digs. But check it out, the Holy Quran says, and we did not send any messenger except, speaking, in the language of his people to state clearly for them. Every prophet was sent to his people with the language of those people. So if they spoke Chinese, then Chinese. If they spoke Latin, then Latin. If they spoke the language of Aboriginal language, then the Aboriginal language. So there most likely were prophets and messengers sent to every community throughout the world. Allah has mentioned some of them to us, and has not mentioned others. The main point is that they all guided to the worship of one God who is Allah, and commanded humanity to reject the oppressive powers. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.